All right, let's talk about something we have all been through, that weird, uncomfortable silence in meetings. We're going to dive into why getting a truly honest opinion can feel like pulling teeth, and how one super simple change can unlock the truth you've been missing all along. You know that exact moment, right? You ask this really important question, something like, "So, are we all on board with this plan?" And all you get is this sea of blank faces, maybe a few polite nods, and just crickets. But then you find out later in a private chat that actually nobody agreed. It's so frustrating. Well, as it turns out, there's a really powerful psychological reason for that silence. And this is where it gets really interesting. We tend to think people are just, lying. But it's a lot more subtle than that. They aren't trying to be dishonest. They're trying to be safe. It's this thing called self-filtering, basically holding back what they really think to protect themselves from any potential drama or negative consequences. Okay, so let's really dig into this idea of lying. We're about to see how the opinions we hear out loud in meetings are often just the safe ones, which unfortunately means they're not always the honest ones. So, at its very core, self-filtering is just a defense mechanism. It's that little voice in your head doing a quick calculation before you speak up, weighing, is sharing my opinion worth the risk of being judged, starting an argument, or, getting on my boss's bad side? So, why do we do it? Well, I'm guessing these reasons look pretty familiar to all of us. We're worried our coworkers are going to think our idea is silly. We're hesitant to be the one to tell the boss their big idea has a huge flaw. And man, that pressure to just go along with the group, it is strong. Bottom line, we don't want to be the one who stands out. And look, this isn't just about some awkward moments in a meeting. This instinct we have to self-filter, it has a real and often very high cost. It can actually sabotage the quality of our work and the success of our projects. And here is the absolute heart of the problem. Every single time someone holds back, a crucial piece of the puzzle is lost. Really important feedback, a warning about a potential risk, maybe even a brilliant idea. They all just vanish. And what happens? Well, leaders are left making huge decisions with a totally incomplete and frankly dangerous picture of reality. So yeah, that's the problem. It feels big, and it's deeply human. But what if the solution was surprisingly simple? What if we could just take the fear out of the equation entirely? This right here is where anonymity becomes an absolute superpower. It's such a simple concept, but it's incredibly powerful. The moment you take away the personal risk, when you completely detach a person's name from their opinion, the fear just melts away. And what are you left with? Pure, unfiltered honesty. So how do you actually do this? Well, you make it truly 100% anonymous. That means zero names attached to the feedback. No logins to track who said what, no emails collected. When you remove every possible way to trace an opinion back to a person, you create this amazing zone of real psychological safety. Okay, so that's the theory, but let's see what this looks like in the real world. Just imagine a totally normal, high-stakes project meeting. The manager asks the million-dollar question. This is a huge moment, right? The project's success, the team's workload, their stress levels for the next few months, it all hangs on this one answer. And everyone is just kind of looking around at each other. And boom, this perfectly shows the divide. Publicly, you get the nods and the silence. Nobody wants to be that guy who challenges the boss. So the timeline gets approved. But when you ask the exact same question in an anonymous poll, a totally different story emerges. All of a sudden, you find out half the team thinks the project is doomed from the start. I mean, just look at this. The data from the poll shows a perfect 50-50 split that was completely invisible just a second ago. This isn't just a small disagreement. This is a massive divide in the team's confidence, a problem that the leadership was totally blind to. And that is why this is such a game changer. That one little piece of anonymous feedback is worth its weight in gold. It lets the team have a real conversation, adjust the plan, and avoid all the stress, burnout, and failure that comes with weeks of chasing impossible deadlines. It literally transforms the outcome. So, how can you start using this? How can you go from that frustrating silence to the kind of clarity that comes from honest feedback? Well, I've got a simple challenge for you. I want you to think of that one question. You know, the one you have a gut feeling people aren't being totally straight with you about. Maybe it's about workload or a new process or the project's priorities. Ask it anonymously. Create that safe space and just see what happens. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Hiding in plain sight, right there within your team, is a goldmine of information that could save projects and unlock incredible potential. They're just waiting for a safe way to share it with you. The only question is, are you ready to listen?